For those of you wondering, yes, this video, the weekly Poseidon Show, is being posted on Friday. Thank you all for your patience. I'm getting on a better schedule now so that everything is getting released at a good or better time than it has been in the past. So forgive me, but also, sorry, I don't know why I have just like a few hairs just sticking up on the top of my head, but that's fine. Anyway, I'm getting on a better schedule, so thank you again for your patience. And yeah, that's uh, that's the introduction for today. I'm not gonna lie, I'm exhausted right now. I am. I filmed a 2-hour video this last weekend for the weekly Poseidon Show, which was in fact posted not on the right week. Very aware of that, but it was still a very good quality episode. You should go watch it. I filmed an hour episode of the side series that I'm doing, which is You're a Bad Trader and I Can Prove It. If you have not seen that already, go watch that series. Very instructive, very, very good. If you are new to fantasy basketball or you need extra help with fantasy basketball, go watch that. Now, a lot of it, I didn't expressly say it in the series. It is for salary cap leagues. And usually cap is pretty much copy and paste for most leagues. Like it'll transpose pretty good, but there's a couple times when how much a player's making does impact a trade. So just be mindful of that. But for the most part, go check that out. It is very instructive, very, very good. I put a lot of time, especially into this last episode where I talk about evaluating trades. That is such a good episode, if I do say so myself. Very, very good. Go check that out. Heck, I might even put a link in the description because it was a very good episode. I really, really liked it. But as such, because filmed all of that and posted it, it came out officially today, although I'm recording Thursday evening. It came out like at 5 o'clock today. That means I'm exhausted. All right. I'm filming a little later at night. And obviously that means that getting a little bit less sleep, and I'm okay to sacrifice that. It's not going to bother me too much. I'll be just fine. But it does mean this episode is going to be a little bit shorter than usual given the amount of time I've already spent recording this week. And just because I already planned all of my material and stuff that I had really for the mini series that I'm doing. So, like, I don't have a whole lot of extra content for this week. Not a whole lot of stuff happened in the league. We only had a couple of trades, so I'm going to push the trade review. People are going to get upset about this. The trade review segment is going to happen next week. It is not happening in this episode. So if you watched this episode just for the trade reviews, it's not happening this week. So wait till next week. You can come back or you can stop watching, I guess, which screw you, I guess. If you're that petty where I have nothing interesting to say except talk about you, get a life. Well, maybe that's harsh. But just think about it. Think about staying. But if you don't want to, I will review your trades next week, and it will be all about you, Sunshine, and you're so awesome, and you're so amazing, and you can do anything. Oh, that's right. I'm not talking to a 3-year-old. Watch the episode. It's going to be good. I still have good stuff that I'm doing. It's not going to be as long. I think it's probably going to be about a half hour. It might be shorter than that. Might be a little bit longer than that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into NBA news. Obviously, we don't have too much. It is off season right now. NBA draft is this upcoming week. I believe it's on Tuesday. I think it's on Tuesday. So that is very, very exciting, which means we're finally going to see who's going number 1 overall. It's kind of crazy because I don't know who's going number 1 overall. For a long time, everybody was saying, "Oh, it's gonna be AJ DeMonta. It has to be AJ DeMonta. How could it not be AJ DeMonta?" And to that I say, because of Darren Peterson. Because, I mean, he has kind of taken this offseason by storm. He did a workout with the Wizards, and they were basically interviewing him and just like, so are you going to cause a bunch of drama for us and be James Harden 2.0? And I guess they liked him so much. Trae Young is maybe not getting re-signed. That's crazy, first and foremost. I don't know if that's just like they're going to renegotiate a contract or whatever. Hear me out. Darren Peterson might be going to Washington, which is kind of, I think, what should happen. I think it should happen, and I'll tell you why. I think Darren Peterson wants to be there. AJ DeMonta, I think, wants to be in Utah. Why wouldn't he? He went to BYU. His family's all there. They actually relocated in order so that he could go to Utah. I don't see any world where he's like, oh, I want to uproot my family again and move to Washington. I don't see that happening. I see the realistic thing happening. Darren Peterson goes to the place that he wants to go. Washington takes him, re-sign Trae Young for whatever he wants, because honestly, he's worth it. And then AJ DeMonta goes number 2, whether you think he should go 1 or not. I think realistically fit is actually what they're drafting for more so than talent, because Darren Peterson, debatably, maybe has a higher ceiling than AJ DeMonta. Whether he hits that or not is kind of the actual question. Like, I don't think anybody is seriously arguing that AJ DeMonta's ceiling is so much higher. I think that's kind of ridiculous. Darren Peterson is actually the one that has been kind of projected to be a lot higher up consistently. Like, I don't actually think up until this last year, it was always Darren Peterson up until this last year when he just had all of those injuries. All of those injuries happened and then missed some games, missed some time. And people are just all of a sudden completely out on him because he had 1 year of just having injuries. These things happen. Like, I'm really not going to fault him too much for it. As long as like that first 2 months of his NBA career, I just need to see consistency, and then we're good. We're fine. So, in my opinion, I think Darren Peterson probably has the higher ceiling. Probably. I'm not going to look at you and call you crazy for thinking AJ has a much higher ceiling. Fine. Whatever. I don't really care. From a fantasy point of view, I think AJ probably has a better ceiling because small forwards typically have a better PRA than point guards and shooting guards. Typically. And I'm just going typically. Like, it could swing either way. I don't really care that much. But I think if you're talking from a fantasy point of view, I think it is very, very important to understand if you are picking Darren Peterson over AJ DeMonta in the draft, which I don't think many people are. I think most people are leaning AJ at 1 from a fantasy point of view. You should be thinking, do I want Darren Peterson if he goes to Washington? Do I want AJ if he goes to a kind of a stacked Jazz roster? Like, is that going to be good for me from a fantasy point of view? Because his production might be a little bit more slow, whereas Darren Peterson in Washington could be accelerating insanely. Or screw both of those options. Cam Boozer's probably getting drafted 3. More than likely. I would be shocked if he went 2. He's definitely not going 1. I don't think anybody is even talking about him possibly going 1. He's not going 1. He could go 2. I saw some reports that the Jazz might be interested in him at 2. He's going to go 3. Let's not kid ourselves. He's going to go 3, and he's probably going to go to the Grizzlies. Unless they trade the pick, which they'd be stupid to. So, don't even bet on that. So, Cam Boozer goes 3 to a Grizzlies team that desperately needs him, and he will play starting minutes. Unless they are, let me hedge that. Let me hedge my bet real quick. I am 95% positive he will get starting minutes on that team. They are the Grizzlies. So they might not. They might not. I don't know. I don't really want them to. I think that it is a mistake if they do not give him starting minutes. We're talking about the Grizzlies. We're talking about them. And the truth is, I think that they could just decide to lose their godforsaken minds and not give him starting minutes. But if they give him starting minutes, you should draft him. And I think, actually, a little bit of a hot take, you should consider drafting him at 2. You should. And the reason being, I think his production from a fantasy point of view is going to be so much better on the Grizzlies that are going to still be a bad team and see him as the number 1 option. He will get development minutes, late game minutes, early game minutes. He is going to get all the minutes. He's going to get the touches. He will be their best player besides John Morant if he plays. If he doesn't play, he's going to be their best player. I see that as a much better fantasy asset today than AJ DeMonta or Darren Peterson their first year. So if you're drafting for fit for your fantasy team, you should consider Cam Boozer. And to be clear, this argument is not Cam Boozer will be better than Darren Peterson or AJ DeMonta, because that's not what I'm saying. He is not going to be better than them. They have a higher ceiling. He probably has a higher floor than either of them. AJ DeMonta has some holes in his game still. He's a much more complete player than most players coming out of college. He still has holes in his game. Darren Peterson, I don't know if he's going to stay healthy. If we want to talk about realistic issues, he might not be healthy. Is that going to stop me from drafting Darren Peterson over Cam Boozer? No, I'm not going to think twice about it. If I have 1.03 in my league, if Darren Peterson is on the board at 1.03, I'm drafting him. I'm not thinking about it twice. And that's just it. Like, I'm not thinking about it twice. I'm taking Darren Peterson because he is the better long-term player. And people are just going to have to live with that. People are going to say, oh, no, but he's too injury prone. Or, oh, no, he's got so many holes in game. First off, you haven't seen Darren Peterson play if you were honestly looking at me and saying he has holes in his game. Defense is great. He is a mid-range bucket from anywhere. His three-point game isn't bad. I really want to see it develop a little bit more. But, I mean, the guy is just a killer. Just an absolute killer. I think he's going 1. If I'm being just honest, I think he's going 1. All the signs are kind of pointing to that now. And with his reemergence and his draft stock just going up and up and up, people were talking about him dropping out of the top 4 in draft picks earlier this year. And now he's like, his projection is like 1 on a lot of mock drafts over AJ. I kind of think he's going 1. I think AJ is probably going to go 2 in that case. Cam Boozer's 3, and then Caleb Wilson is probably going to go 4. A little bit crazy. Draft is a little bit wild this year, but I'm here for it. I do love it. I think this is kind of the exact same thing that we need. People wanting to play for these franchises that are a little bit more... I mean, they're small market teams. Nobody's looking at Washington and saying, well, they have all the money to spend. Like, they've got as much as the Lakers or the Knicks. That's not happening. Which, other news story, the Knicks apparently are not going to go into the second apron. What a team of morons. Their front office is abysmal for that decision. I get it. Like, if I'm a team owner, do I really want to spend like $100 million? Because, or I think it was like $200 million. Maybe that's justified, actually, now that I'm saying that out loud. We're talking about $200 million that you'd have to pay in tax just to have this roster. I'm not sure it's worth it either. I get it. But, oh my gosh. So I think the big thing with the Knicks is they just won a championship. And I kind of don't want to see them blow it up. And I think that if they do, especially with Brunson being eligible for the max contract, which, by the way, if they do not give this man the max contract, I will sue the Knicks on his behalf. It is crazy. He took $100 million less on his deal. And he won a ring. This man needs to be paid today. I can't wait to see his contract negotiation follow through and he gets all the money that he's earned. Because, oh my gosh, he well deserved. Let me think. I think there was one other bit of news that I wanted to talk about that was kind of a big deal. Oh, right. I guess it's just the exact same thing that's been happening for the last like 3 years straight. Giannis is apparently the framework. The framework of the Giannis trade is mostly done. I think it sounds like the Heat are gonna get him. They're gonna ship off Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware. I think it's the number 11 pick. Which, by the way, the Heat have just terrible lottery odds. It's actually crazy. Um, and then we're just waiting on a third team. Like I've heard like 3 different teams attached to that. The Pistons. Um, who else was it? The Pistons might be taking Hero. I thought I saw like a Pelicans deal in there as well. Somebody put the Lakers in there as well, and I was like, absolutely not. Do not do that to my poor team. We do not need Tyler Hero, which I guess would mean that we would lose Austin Reeves in free agency. I guess that's the scenario. Like if we lose Austin Reeves to free agency, then we like do this trade to like get a backup 2 or something. Like I guess this is plan C. I don't really like that because Hero he's not the guy. He's not the guy. I don't want him on my team. Let's see. We had one more bit of news. Oh, this is more just funny than anything else. I saw a video where Tyler Kolek, who plays for the New York Knicks, he was at the parade, and I guess they just don't know who's on their team because the police tried to like push him back into the crowd because they thought he was just a fan that jumped the barricades, and he was just like, "Dog, I'll play for them. I got the ring." Which is kind of funny that Tyler Kolek has a ring and James Harden doesn't. People can clown this man forever for that. Like Kyle Kuzma has a ring and James Harden doesn't. You want to show people like career stats of 2 players and who has the ring? James Harden and like Tyler Kolek or Mohamed Diawara or Brandon Ingram, I think. Yeah, was he on that 2020 team? I don't remember if he was or not. I'm going crazy. I'm pretty sure he was, though. Yeah, I'm going to stand on that. That'll be the hill I die on, I guess. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and say that's probably true. Anyway, I'm rambling a lot. That is all of the news from the NBA. Now we need to go on to the news for the league, and the news for the league is nothing. We've had a couple of rule changes specifically for the off-season. Trades are no longer going to have a cooldown. You can make a trade and then immediately make another trade. And to that I say, boo. We talked about this. The reason we made the cooldown was so that we wouldn't get fleecing, or at least a lot less of it. I don't like it for that reason. I think that's probably a poor reason. We really just need to kick out bad traders and bring better ones in and veto really, really abysmal trades. But I was outruled, so whatever. I don't really like the cooldown being gone as well because I think people don't need to mess up their rosters. We haven't even seen the league start. We haven't even seen the draft, and people are making like 4 trades a day. Thankfully, it slowed down a lot. We've been really active in chat though, so kudos everybody. I really think people just need to slow down, take a breath, and make good trades. There's one other bit of league news. What was it? No, I guess that's it. I do have something to announce, and I'm very excited about this. Either the Saturday after next, so not this upcoming Saturday, but next week, or the week after, not 100% sure just yet, but that one of those evenings, we will be live streaming the draft for the Fantasy League. It largely depends when Sleeper uploads the new rookies. It could happen this week, could happen next week. I'm assuming it's going to happen after the NBA draft or like within a couple of days after the NBA draft. That way people can start doing their fantasy drafts. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know 100% when that's going to be. It will happen soon, though. I will post it in a video to let everybody know. I will be doing a live commentary and a live stream on the YouTube channel for the draft. That stream will be then available for the future. And yes, there will still be a weekly Poseidon show for the week of the draft. That's going to be an extra 30 minutes to an hour that I'm going to be recording that evening so that we can have a little bit of extra content for the fantasy draft. I'm not talking about the IRL draft, the NBA draft. I'm not going to be reacting to that. I may talk about it quite a bit in the in the Poseidon show for that week, because I think that's probably going to be the biggest talking point from everybody. I'm assuming there's going to be trades. I'm assuming there's going to be kind of wild picks. Who knows? Maybe Cam Boozer does go one. That would be kind of crazy. That's not going to happen, but that would be crazy. I just really think that it's just very, very important to get a bunch of content out there, and we're going to be doing as much as we can. Yeah, so I guess that's it. So be on the lookout for when that stream is going to be taking place. I will make sure to announce it on the channel, and then as well as the Sleeper League. For those of you who are only on YouTube and you're only subscribed, first off, thank you. Did you guys know we hit 500 views on the channel? I know that doesn't sound like too much, but that's like 500 people saying, oh yeah, I'm interested in that. That's kind of a big deal. So I'm very grateful. So thank you, first and foremost. But also keep watching. Invite your friends. Like, talk about the fantasy league more. I'd love to see more comments. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what I'm doing good. Tell me what I'm doing wrong more so, though, because I want to fix things, and I don't know how to fix them if you don't tell me. So anyway, next we're going to go into the actual content that we have for today. And I have a list that Josh made on what he believes is the real tier list or the real power ranking of the entire league. And I disagree with it. I disagree with it for a number of reasons, which I will get to. I don't have it up on the board, and I'm not going to have it up on the board. It's just going to be me. So you guys are going to do a little face-to-face, a little eye-to-eye, a little man-to-man, and you're going to listen to me, and I'm just going to talk about it. So glad you guys agree. Cool. So, oh man, Josh. I can't even disagree with a few of these. I disagree in principle with them. Some of them are just objectively good takes. They're not even really hot takes. They're just kind of good takes that I can't really disagree with in principle. In practice, I disagree with a lot of these picks, though. So, number one, Josh ranked himself. Boo. Boring. Loser. It's true. Right now, in practice, it is, or in principle, it is true. Josh probably has the best team. I can't really argue with that right now. Do I think that that means that his roster is going to win? I doubt it, to be honest with you. Sounds harsh. I think Odin's just the better GM. And Odin is ranked 2, so he did give his flowers to Odin. That difference between Josh and Odin is not big. I'll take Odin 4 out of 7. I do. 4 out of 7, I would take Odin. But that's just me. Just me. Sal is at 3. I think that's very, very fair. He has an insanely good team. He needs to stop making trades, though. If he keeps making trades, he's going to blow his team up, and then we're never going to see that team in the finals. 4 is You Hate Mikey. That is way too high. That is way too high because I know I gave him like a lot of mercy in my own power ranking. I gave him that mercy because I basically turned injuries off in my simulation. Look, he has like a combined 82 games for all of his players. I don't trust this team to be 500, let alone actually win the title. You'll have to remember, the power ranking I did was based off if the final started that day. Mikey's team is not going to last an entire season. If it does, he will win the whole thing. Like, if he's able to take his roster all the way to the end, he will win. I don't care about Josh. I don't care about Odin. I don't care about Sal. He will win if he makes it to the finals. With this roster, he will win. No questions about it. He will then immediately sink to the very bottoms of our fantasy league forever, because his team will be so depleted, he will get nothing in return, and his team dies. Just, that's it. For 5, we have Coop. Fine. I think I probably would have had him a little bit lower, but in the 5 to 8 range is just fine. A lot of these 5 to 8, like, I'll just read 5 through 8. We've got Coop, Melbourne, Atlanta, and Jesse. I think Atlanta is definitely the best out of those, so I would probably put Atlanta 5. And I would probably put Jesse at 6. I think Coop is probably 7. I think Melbourne is 8. Yeah, I think that's probably what I would do. It's a little tough because 5 through 8 is so up in the air. It really is it's largely dependent on who has the better week. Like, it doesn't really, like, team wise, team construction wise, they're all very, very similar, very top end talent. I really think, though, that they're very, very close. It's a little too close for me to just say, oh, one's way better than the others. I think Atlanta is maybe edges them all out, just by a bit. But even then, 5 through 8, I think, is a toss up, very much up in the air. Next, at 9, we have TVD. Fine. That's probably the right pick. It's probably the right pick. I kind of think I would have. Yeah, actually, I think TVD is the right pick. I'm going to go ahead and just leave TVD there. I think 9 is probably the right spot for him. Maybe I don't like it just because I don't like his team construction, but it's probably fair. For T, we have T at 10. Yeah, that's a good pick. Randy is at 11. Oh, I think I would drop Randy down to 12. I think I would swap, because the next pick is Coop, the other Coop. I think I would put Coop, then Randy. And that's just because I think Coop just has a little bit more dependency on him. I think he's got so much young talent. I just don't think he can really contend next year. I think we need just another year of solid growth from a lot of his guys. So I'm going to pick Coop, at least for right now. We have Dan at 13. Yeah, that's a good pick. 0. I don't like that pick. I talked about this quite a bit in my power rankings. I don't like that pick. I kind of think he doesn't need to be a 7th seed. I think he should be the 8th seed. I think I would probably, I hate to say, I probably would put Jimmer or Vandery over him. Yeah, 14 through 17 is a little up in the air. It could kind of go either way. I actually got put at 15 by Josh, which I think was generous. Just respect to myself. I think 15 was a little generous. Not sure I'm there just yet, but kudos. 16 is Vandery. Jimmer is 17. 16 and 17 are kind of interchangeable. Dan Warner got put at 18. Now, 17 through 18, I think, are kind of interchangeable. By the way, if you guys didn't notice, after the end of 18 team, no, sorry. I'm lying to you guys. Sorry, 1 second, and then I'll get to that. A of Sonic at 19, CB Steam at 20. Now I can get to it. You guys will notice that is the top 20 teams, which means that is the play-in tournament, and that is your top 8 seeds. Not everybody's going to make it. That's okay. You win some, you lose some. I think that this is probably an accurate playoffs bracket. I'm not sure about the winner. I don't think Josh is going to win. He could. He's definitely a contender. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's going to win it, but that's more just personal bias than anything else. Just full transparency. This is an accurate playoff bracket. I don't see. Well, actually, I one caveat. I think Mariana Magic is so underrated. I actually think he's probably better than Jimmer. Maybe, just a little bit. Maybe I'm not 100% sure. And I more so mean that as a GM, not so much as a team. I think Mariana Magic's team is just a little bit worse. But I think his skill as a GM is maybe enough to carry him. So I could see him maybe ending up being a play-in team, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through the rest of these. It's not going to take too long to go through the rest of these. So we've got Funk at 22, probably right where he needs to be. 23 is Ruggs, fine. Caden needs to drop down at least 2 more spots. He's abysmal. He's at 24. He should probably be at 26. What is Jim is at 25. He could actually probably go up to 24. I think he's better than Caden. Potatoes should definitely be 26. Slayer should not be 26. I think his team is worse than Potatoes. That's a little bit of a hot take. I take Allie at 28. That's probably fair. Freddie at 29 and Funk at 30. Funk at 30? 30? So Josh, hey buddy. I know you were working, and I know that you sent this list, and I'm sure you were tired. Did it occur to you that teleporting Funk through time and space to coexist in 2 planes of reality and possess 2 teams in your ranking, did it occur to you that maybe that wasn't correct? Maybe. I could be the wrong one here. I could be. Like, if you were to tell me, no, actually, Poseidon, it's perfectly right. I ranked him twice intentionally. He is both the 22nd best team and the 30th best team. Who am I to argue? Maybe I'm the one wrong. But to those of us that do exist in reality, I think you might have added Funk in the wrong spot. Which means I don't know if he's supposed to be 22 or 30. Because his team sucks. He should probably be 30. Which... Are there 2 Funks? There aren't 2 Funks. I'm overthinking this. Well, I guess we're just not going to know until the comments. So shout out to Josh for sending me a list with 2 of the same person on it. Gotta love that. But besides that, this is actually a very accurate list. And Funk doesn't even make the top 20 in either case, so it doesn't actually matter. I like that playoffs. I like those playoffs. Top 20 is very accurate. I might shift around 5 through 8, but besides that, it all looks very good. All right. Well, honestly, good episode. I really liked the power ranking. If you guys send me your hot takes, send me your trades. This is very good that I'm getting this out here now. I want to talk about it more. If you guys have trades that you want me to review that are not pending trades, send them to my DMs. I will review them there. I'll take submissions from the All-Star League. I'll take them from any other league. I think that would be great. Send them to me. I would love to review them. Offer a little bit of trade advice or just evaluation advice. Let me know. I'd be happy to give that. All in all, it was just very, very good. yeah, so I think that's all we've got. Yep, that's all we got. Just make sure that you guys are sending me your hot takes and any other trades that you want reviewed or anything like that, and I will show them on the show every week. So, thank you guys for watching. If you'll have any questions, comments, complaints, drop a comment below. I will be happy to respond to all of them. Thank you guys, and as always, God bless.